welcome everybody. So good to see you here. You may have noticed that Karen and I have been gone for 2 weeks. Some of you maybe didn't notice, and that'll hurt our feelings. But if you're interested, and one of our members, Katrina, who is from Melbourne, Australia, her son Jamie was just singing up front. She was also with us at least for part of the trip. We're going to give you a little Sabbath School mission report. Is that okay? Tell you, you wonder what in the world your pastors are doing, and so we thought we'd share. Now, I don't have any kind of sophisticated technology, but you're going to see some pictures on the screen here, and I'll just let the studio know, kind of snap my fingers or pull my ear, stomp my foot, and they can move. Okay, we're going up to the big screen. We were in Australia. This is like my 4th or 5th trip there doing mission, different kind of mission projects and preaching, and you see I've got a circle around southern Australia. We were in the districts of Victoria and South Australia, and the cities of Melbourne and Adelaide, two of the larger cities. In Melbourne is soon going to pass Sydney as the largest city in Australia. It's growing very quickly, and we can go to the next picture. You may know that in recent months, from September through January, Australia suffered in some of the most devastating fires in its history. I've heard conflicting numbers, but at minimum of 25 million acres. Now, that is 4 times bigger than the terrible fires we had 2 years ago, where we had about 500,000 acres that was lost in property damage. And then that was followed almost immediately, next picture, by catastrophic floods. And I looked at the news yesterday, and now southern Australia is having another heat wave, and they're afraid they're going to have fire problems again. So they've been going back and forth with it. Not only that, next picture, this is all happening in the midst of the coronavirus issues, and there have been some cases of coronavirus in Australia, not many, but the big problem is they do so much trade with the Orient, and the airports, you'd be shocked, in China are shut down, and it's affecting products coming in, it's affecting tourism. 25% of the tourism in Australia are Chinese tourists, and so economically, I think this is a picture of the Sydney airport. Economically, they're being hit. Now, all of this is happening. Actually, it played out well for our meetings because it's a very secular country in Australia. Not a very religious country, but boy, at our meetings, they really responded. We've been, next picture, Amazing Facts has been on TV all over the country. We're at 99% of the market of Australian television right now, meaning 99% of the country can reach it. Right now we're on Channel 9. It's called GEM. And so when we advertised, we actually had people call into the theaters to register. And Amazing Facts has an office in Australia. It's in the Gold Coast near Brisbane. And there's Katrina at the door. She was there with us in Melbourne. And so they registered, and they overbooked. So many people wanted to book to come that they actually had to add sessions to the programs there. They're very well attended, and we are very thankful. This is actually the first Sabbath meeting we had in Adelaide. They brought all the churches together at a center there, and they had about 1,300 people, I think, came to the program, which more people in California live in the whole country of Australia. So you got a lot, but it's almost as big as the U.S., the lower U.S. So their churches are small and many, they're scattered, but they had a great turnout. This is the conference president of Southern Australia, David Butcher, great guy, doing an interview with Karen and I. And the people came out faithfully night after night. Yeah, you can keep going, Marcia, that'll work fine. Then we had evangelistic programs that began and met every evening, and because of the attendance, we ended up having to do 2 presentations every night. I haven't done that in years, you know. Do the Mark of the Beast, one back to back, or whatever it is you do. The folks, we meted them in the lobby. This is the local production crew streamed it. They produced it for TV, so they've got copies of it. We'll get some of those for our office. Just took a picture with the media crew. But not only were they streaming the programs, but they had translators. You see the 4 translators there? They were translating every broadcast of the evangelistic programs in, I think it was Swahili, it's an African tongue, and they were doing it in Polish, in Samoan, in Romanian, as well as in English. So 5 languages it was going out simultaneously, and people where there's all the translators in their booths listening online. And so night after night, the people came, and we were worried once you get to Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, but they kept filling the venue. We kept doing two venues or two presentations. That's just a picture of us with some of the media crew and the volunteers that help with the program. Also, while we were there, we did some presentations where we just shared with the pastors in the conference. Got a picture with the pastors there and the conference staff. And that's Karen and I. We did some radio interviews. They've got a radio program, reaches all of Adelaide. Faith FM did an interview with them, and that's Nick, the director of the station, his wife. And then we went up to Melbourne, and right after getting to Melbourne, they said, now can you talk to the school? It wasn't in the schedule. They were having a week of prayer. Can you do one of the sessions? So we had 400 young people came out and were very well behaved as we did a gospel presentation, invited those who had not to accept the Lord. And in the school there, most of the kids are not from Adventist homes. It's like a mission school. Then we did a program, a Wednesday night program of all things, in another venue, led out by an elder there who's very evangelistic, Johnny Wong, and his team of youth. And then we went to a concert hall for the weekend meetings. This was over 1,000 attended there. This was Friday, Sabbath. We told folks we'd meet them after the program and shake hands and take pictures and sign books. They give out a lot of literature. And you can see this is a panoramic picture. It shows everyone just wrapped out. Karen and I are in the far right corner. Just folks were lined up, and they've been watching the TV programs. And I think I've got a few pictures here I just snapped of some of the folks. These are people who came to the Lord through Amazing Facts programs. A Catholic couple, I don't remember their names. I met so many people. But when they say, we came to the Lord through you, I'd say, let me get your picture. And I'm not showing you all of them. Next one. This lady was a flight attendant with Emirates Air in Dubai. She started watching our programs there on satellite, I think, and then went to the website, and she's come to the Lord and joined the church. Can't remember her name. This is Danny. He has a business in Ballarat outside of Melbourne. Came to the Lord from Amazing Facts programs, and is just he went to Israel with us 2 years ago. So we got a picture together. We have the same barber. And this is a lady named is Susan from China, and her daughter, and came to the Lord just watching the websites and reading the material, and was baptized subsequently. Far left in that picture is Charmaine. She's with our Amazing Facts Oceania office. And next picture, this is a doctor who flew from New Zealand for our meetings in Melbourne and came back to the Lord. He was raised in Adventist, had drifted away, came back to the Lord. Stan, and that's his fiancée, she studied her way in, was baptized. Venus is her name. And many others. I don't have time to show you all, but I just wanted to see some samples of pictures. A Chinese couple. This I thought was neat. They showed me they had read the Caveman book. I'd never seen this version. It's in Chinese, it's Mandarin, and it's in English and Mandarin. So they use it to teach English over there. They're using our testimony book. I thought, that's great, whatever works. And so Karen and I took a selfie with I think it was one of the afternoon programs in the hall there. And now that we're back in Adelaide, this is from Mount Lofty. You know, Adelaide is fairly flat, but a beautiful view overlooking the city. Now, this is a picture. You're wondering where Pastor Ross is. I got this week. Pastor Ross has been in India training the Amazing Facts workers there and this is our team in India. You may remember from our church here also the Hoover family. There's Ryan and Audrey and Sophie with Pastor Ross, and Lazarus and Karen and their families, and Pastor Elisha Rowe. He trains pastors over there, and we're translating the Amazing Facts programs into Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, English, and they're being broadcast all over India in those languages. So that's just some of what's happening. Thank you for letting your pastors play hooky from the local congregation. This is what we're doing when we're gone, and we just thought you need to know what's been going on. So that's our little mission report. Hope it wasn't too long.